Hello and welcome to another episode of Rich and Femininity. So today I want to talk about the dark side of social media. I've been on social media since MySpace. So I've been on social media forever and ever. Things have changed over time where MySpace was all about friends and just chill and laid back, had nothing to do with business, and it definitely did not have to do anything with like huge flexing or any of the stuff that we see today. And even in the beginning of the Instagram era, I feel like not even celebrities caught on fast. So it did have that like chill vibe at first. And even businesses, I feel like took some time to get on social media the way that they are today. So there is a lot of positives and negatives of social media, and I know I talk a lot about the positive, which is making money on social media and living your best life, right? And making money as you go and travel, and you're not restricted to a schedule, you're making your own schedule. Also time freedom, location freedom, and everything. So of course that is wonderful, the fact that so many people are able to create their own platform and create their own businesses and literally change their lives and their families' lives. But then there is that dark side that we all see but don't really understand how anybody can really get easily influenced by this dark side, even when you feel like you're not being influenced. I myself definitely feel like I lost myself on social media twice. So when Instagram first came out, I got on there and I was doing a lot of like the IG modeling situation, which is something that I genuinely like never cared about. But because of these opportunities being presented to me, and those were the accounts that I did see blow up at that time, and I saw that their lifestyle and I saw this and that was the influence. I am grateful that I did go through that and I had that experience, and I was able to grow during that period of time and meet so many actual industry leaders and so many people from LA to Miami. But it's not what I wanted to do, and I see how I was influenced by social media to think that that is the route I had to go to make extra money. But there's so many different ways. It didn't have to be like that. And then fast forward a couple years to 2020, when, again, another round, and I made so much money online. I started noticing that I wanted these things that I never wanted before. For example, I remember saying like I wanted an AP. I never really wanted that before. It was literally because I seen so many people online and use that as like a mark of reward or whatnot. I definitely still think that the AP is beautiful on certain people, but me, I don't even like watches. Like I literally don't wear bracelets or watches. I don't really like much jewelry. Another example was like wanting like chains, like Cuban links, and wanting these purses, and just wanting a lot of like flashy things that I legitimately just never cared, because I'm so much more of a nature, laid back, like chill type of person. Even prior to social media, I'll get excited to tell people how much I didn't pay for something. Like if I had a shirt and it was $12, I'd be like, oh my god, I got this shirt for $12. I never really cared about all these things, and I really do feel like that can influence a lot of people. And of course, like the big houses and the big everything, of course that can be a goal, but the fact that you're probably not in a position to buy all those things right now definitely makes you feel crappy internally, or something along those lines, where you feel that pressure and that you're not doing good in life and that you just aren't where you want to be, and like just so much weight on you, when in reality you don't know how long that person has been doing this, has been making their money, has been in the game. In reality, you just don't know. You don't know how many years they've been working. You don't know what they're actually going through. And honestly, even like a lot of the women, you don't know who's actually paying for their things. There's a lot of women out there, or people in general, that their bills are literally being paid by other people, and it's easy for them to come on the internet and be like, hey, look at my lifestyle, look at my glass box in the sky, and for other people to feel like, oh my god, so envious of them or jealous, or maybe feel like they're not doing good in life at that moment. But in reality, that person is not even paying for that lifestyle, okay? But they're not going to say that either. Some people admit it, some people don't. So just a quick reminder of that. Also, the level of happiness. I feel like we can all kind of understand that everyone is just not as happy as they are on the internet, but somehow we still look at other people and think that their life is perfect, but it's not. So that person that's in that house and that car and that, you never know what is really going on in that house, what is really going on in that life. And they're probably coping internally just by showing all the things that they have, but then they actually feel very, very unfulfilled inside, and probably going through, you never know, like legal battles, or just arguments or just a lot more things that we think. So that doesn't allow you to truly appreciate what you actually have and realize that, you know what, I worked hard this past year to get where I'm at right now, but no, I'm not in that house, I'm not in that maybe a state or a city or in a certain car, but I have grown a lot. So instead of seeing it like that, a lot of people are still seeing it like, oh, but I don't have that, but I don't have this. And that is what's really truly negative about social media. And dating on social media, it just become the most weird toxic thing on the internet, where we have guys talking to girls about how guys are, and then we got guys that are like trying to convince other guys not to highly respect women and just like not care for them, and then we have women that are toxic and that are telling the women not to care, and it's just a hot mess. So I feel like everyone needs to really truly understand that all these people that are talking in such matter, they're either doing it for entertainment or they're doing it maybe to push a program. It's okay. Either way, it's a biased point of view and they're pushing their agenda with their content, okay? So even themselves, they might in a year or two have a completely different perspective on this topic that they were talking about. And I feel like I can easily say that's exactly how this even started, with me pushing the message of being in your femme energy and you can be in business as a feminine woman, is exactly because that same reason. Because once upon a time I was on the internet, talking about how independent and this and forget guys, focus on yourself. And then now, fast forward, I'm like, scratch that. I learned by my personal experience that actually it is a much better experience to be in your femme energy, to care, to be in your feminine energy. But these people at that moment are truly convinced of their own opinion. So then other people that they just want to agree with the opinion because of the dating situation that they're going through at that exact same period of time just matches with that message. So they're like, yeah, to make themselves feel better as well. So then that just keeps happening and happening. It's just a hot mess. Even IG stories, that's something that I had to alter when in the dating world. Your IG stories, those guys that you talk to or women, they judge you by your IG stories. So even when you repost something, and even if you didn't mean it like right now, so it's like when he used to do this, whatever. So it's like they would think that you're talking about that person, or you're currently talking to your ex-boyfriend, or you're currently doing that, when you really meant like I can relate to that like in the past at one point of time. I personally just stopped reposting anything that had to do with relationship, and even like reposting some goals, like couple goals stuff. Like some guys view that as you're desperate for love or something along those lines. So again, essentially, like, who cares? But it is a true thing. You are getting judged by your IG story. So I just fall back and just focus on business, and that way I don't give anybody any room to judge anything. They don't really know, and I really do like privacy, so I think that actually works in my benefit. I just being on social media and knowing that everybody is just projecting like their own, what they're going through currently, and they can't foresee the future, so they don't know what they haven't gone through yet. And also, like with the dating situation, it's kind of weird. Everybody's in competition of who cares less. I think that's totally weird now. That's why I feel like way more single people than any other era probably. The combination of just thinking that there's always going to be someone better out there. They're going to find that next Instagram person, that next rich guy, that next beautiful IG model, and they want to keep options open. That's weird. So that kind of reminds me of that J. Cole song, Love Yours because you're never going to find something better than yours, or something along those lines. Point is, everyone just thinks that there's something better out there just because we have direct access like that, and people are using social media like a dating app, of course. And then even when they meet that rich person or that beautiful person or that whoever they're meeting, then they move into that competition of who cares less. Then it doesn't make any sense. And then judging, like if a girl is in a restaurant and she's taking a picture of her plate, then that means she's on a date, when maybe she's by herself or with her siblings or with her friends. If she is traveling, then that means that someone flew her out, when in reality some women can actually pay for their own flights. That all came from social media. Like all these like weird things that just have altered people's perception of dating, of real world, of just what real life really is. Even going back to the IG stories, people will literally watch your story and not communicate with you and think that reacting to your story is actually a form of communication. But it really isn't. If that is what someone's doing, that's not even the bare minimum. Like, that's nothing. And yes, I touched a lot on dating because personal life and business on social media, it can get confusing because you do have your clients and then you have the people that you might be dating online at the exact same time, your friends. Also, you have a mixture of things going. I suggest, as a business owner, is to just keep it for business and stay focused on the content being about business and not necessarily like, oh, I'm on here for business, but let me also add this personal dating stuff. I think it's okay to add some personal fitness and health journey and things like that. And this is in dating, okay? So if you're in a committed relationship, then that's a whole different conversation. I definitely feel like you should definitely showcase that and all that. But I'm talking about the women that are like in the single life and not reposting like, oh, he should be doing this or that, like all that also does not reflect that you're a business person anyways. Not that it won't reflect that, but it's just be on there for business. Unless that is the industry that you are in, then that makes total sense. But if you're in any other industry like fitness industry or anything else, getting too personal or like reposting certain things just aren't necessary. Like if it doesn't align with the goal of attracting leads and converting, I just leave it be. Personally, my goal with social media is my team is going to be so strong that I can just delete the entire app off my phone and my business is going to be fully running without me, because I can create content just like this. I don't need to even have Instagram downloaded. I don't need TikTok downloaded, as long as my team is very strong and I can support my team and we support each other. I'm sure there are people out there with beautiful places and beautiful lifestyle, all this like whatever, and still barely making it, versus there are people living in, RVs, which I literally want an RV, guys. But anyways, there's people living like, in RVs and flipping container homes, and they might have like literally 10x the income than the next person that has the little glass apartment in New York City. So that goes to show that just be yourself, be true. These people probably are more chill, have way better personality than the other ones that are just living for social media. And again, I fell for this once upon a time, and I felt how unfulfilled and how lost and how it just was not what I consider what life is or what life should be. And I took a step back and was like, whoa, what do I love the most? What do I care about the most? And really realigned how my entire social media presence was. Maybe other people did not even notice it as much as I feel like I've noticed it. So just to wrap this up, I would suggest writing down a list of what you like and the end goal, like who is that person that you're trying to transform into. And whenever you feel like you're slipping a little bit and maybe not getting influenced in a wrong way, or maybe just like doing things that you're like, you know what, I don't think this actually aligns with who I'm trying to become or who I am, then you look at those papers and look at that list, and that will allow you to keep yourself on check. Okay. Now what? How do I close it? So I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Thank you guys for watching another episode.
So thank you guys for watching another episode of Rich and Femininity. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on audio, rate 5 stars.